Good afternoon, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Tim Pandajis. Wanted to break in here real quick and let you know about some downpours that are developing once again. Some of you may be encountering these this afternoon, having flashbacks of yesterday when we had copious amounts of rainfall coming on through the Houston area with a cell that just sat right overhead. I have good news with these showers, though. As we put this into motion, these storms are not stationary. They are moving pretty quickly from the south to the north. That being said, they're also delivering very heavy rainfall. Still, ground is saturated from yesterday, so still may encounter a few issues out there, especially as we go through the rest of the afternoon, because I think more of these cells will begin to develop as the overall setup in the atmosphere still remains the same as yesterday. We have a surface trough strewn across the area, the sea breeze interacting with it. That forces the atmosphere to rise and delivers us some very heavy downpours and thunderstorm activity. But let's get a close-up look of what's going on in Houston right now. Harris County saw the brunt of all the activity yesterday, and we're seeing most of the action there right now as well, right along 45, just north of downtown Houston. A few more cells developing to the south near Brookside Village, and this one here on to the north and east of the city has a little bit of lightning associated with it, so that's probably the stronger of the systems that we're watching right now. Even that's not terribly strong. You remember the lightning amounts we saw yesterday, like 400 strikes within 10 minutes with that cell that was right over the city. This one's got about 7 or 8 in the last 10 minutes. Still, nonetheless, it's a thunderstorm near just north of Beaumont Place, right along 90 there in Sheldon, just to the east of Kingwood and 69. So very heavy rainfall on Route 8, and that's going to cause probably a little bit of issues because there are also areas that saw that same troublesome spot yesterday. Down to the south, we got a few cells popping up here, and as I put it in motion here again over the last hour or so, let's see how quickly that one's moving. Pretty quickly through Alameda, heading towards Brookhaven, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these actually strengthen a little bit as they lift off towards the north. If you do catch one of these downpours on the roadways, it could cause some ponding and some minor flooding like we saw yesterday. But the good news, as I mentioned earlier, is that they are moving at a pretty good pace and they are not stationary like they were yesterday afternoon. Overall, the picture is mainly just seeing the action in Harris County right now, but as I mentioned, the overall setup very, very similar. Here's that surface trough across the area. That's like a line of lower pressures and forces the air to rise. We've got a sea breeze that's shaping on up across the area too, like we see every afternoon coming in from the south to southeast. That's running into that stationary or that trough, forcing the air to rise. We get a little bit of a boundary interaction. And you see storms developing and moving along it. And like yesterday, they were slow moving and stalling out. Some of the models saying that that's a possibility today, but that's not what we're seeing right now with any of the storms. Another look at radar, a few little bits of lightning popping on up here in our cell off to the north and east. But aside from that, just looking at downpours moving through the area now, things might get a little bit more active in the next couple of hours. So check back with us. We'll pop on in if things start to go downhill. But again, remember to join us coming up on just about an hour and a half on the 411 on TV. And if you have any other questions, you can find us on social media. Until then, we'll see you in a little bit.